Hey everyone, today we're going to be checking out the Matrix Backpack from Troubadour. And Troubadour has an impressive collection of tech and everyday carry bags. I've really enjoyed using their Apex 3.0 and Pioneer backpack, so I was excited to see this new offering that seemed to have a really interesting organizational layout along with their typical quality and style. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to test this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, like Troubadour's other bags, this has a pretty modern and stylish appearance. It's not as minimal as something like their Apex Backpack 3.0. It actually reminds me of the Ridge backpack that they had a little while back, so it's slightly more functional, but I still think that this is something that is going to blend in nicely into a more professional setting with a nicer outfit, and that I would also enjoy using for traveling and exploring cities. As far as the materials, this feels really solidly built. The exterior fabric is a recycled polyester with vegan leather trim on certain parts of the bag to give it some nice accenting, and so it feels like something that's going to hold up well to rougher usage and also offer a good amount of weather resistance. And the materials here also help keep the weight of the bag pretty reasonable. It doesn't feel overly heavy. And then beyond that, you have some really nice YKK zippers all throughout with AquaGuard protection on some of the compartments. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was happy to see that you have an external water bottle pocket, and this is going to offer a nice amount of space. I was able to store my 20-ounce water bottle, so it's got some elasticity here, good amount of height, and so that slides in there comfortably when the pocket isn't in use. It's going to hug the bag to maintain a cleaner look. And at the top, you have these new handles that Troubadour has been using in some of their more recent bags, which just provides a nice amount of space. And I really like the grippiness here, so great texture, feels really durable. I also like that the branding is fairly subtle. You have the Troubadour logo here on the front. And the last thing I'll mention while we're talking about the exterior is that the bag does manage to stand up pretty well on its own. I've been able to place it down next to me and access the compartments when I've needed to pretty consistently. As far as the capacity, the bag comes in at about 20 liters, which to me is a really great daily bag size. I was able to hold all the items that I normally like to carry with me, and it never felt like the bag got overwhelmingly big or bulky, which made it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto a variety of domestic and international airlines and using it as a personal item. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. The straps have a nice amount of padding here. It feels a little less rigid than I would typically like to see, but so far it still has offered a pretty good amount of support on the inside. You have a nice kind of soft material. The straps also have a pretty good width for this size of bag, so I haven't noticed any fatigue as I've been wearing these. And the bag does not include a sternum strap, but you do have the rails to add one. It's sold separately if you want to get one. And then you have this elastic compartment on one of the straps, which might be a good spot to store any items that you need to reach a little bit more quickly. So pretty cool idea there. And if you don't want to use it, it's got a magnet that just kind of keeps it looking a little bit more organized. You have some good strap management here with these clips that you can take this off if you don't want to have this way. I did notice that when I tighten the bag up to wear it higher, you have these loops that kind of form here and looked a little bit funky, but still nice to kind of have that option depending on how you want to wear the bag. And on the back panel, you have a nice amount of padding here. I like this padding a bit more than what's on the straps. I kind of wish that it had been the same style, so this is well distributed. It's a little bit more robust. You also have a nice amount of elevation here to provide you with airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. And then the last thing I'll mention while we're on the back panel is that you have a luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. And I like the orientation here, which allows it to stand on your suitcase so that you can easily access the laptop compartment. Jumping into the organizational options, the bag has a nice variety of pockets all throughout. Starting off on the side, you have a nice quick access pocket here with a well-protected zipper. This one also has a gusset to prevent items from accidentally falling out. At the moment, I just have a headlamp in here, but a nice amount of space for a variety of different accessories, maybe a portable battery or something like that. And then on the front, you have a great quick access pocket at the top, and I really like how much volume is provided here. This gives you a lot of flexibility with the types of things that you can store. At the moment, I have my sunglasses in here with their case, and then I also have my AirPods, a charging cable for my phone and my tablet. And on the inside, you also have a lanyard with a nice clip. That's gonna be a good spot to store your keys, and a little slot where you can store an AirTag. Below that, you have another really interesting pocket. This one has an accordion style layout as far as the organization that it provides. And so that's a pretty cool idea here. And it's a good amount of capacity as well. Here at the top, I just have a packable tote bag that I like to carry with me. And so it's a slightly taller compartment. And with these types of layouts, you always have to be a little bit strategic with how you kind of organize the items, because the volume starts to feel really tight if you try to use everything together. And so starting off on the back, you have a simple zippered pocket that's gonna be a good place to store something, maybe a little bit flatter. At the moment, I just have a field notes notebook in there. And then you have this accordion layout here with kind of this larger section where you could store something a little bit bulkier. I have a charging cable here for my USB-C hub. And then you have these pockets in the middle that can handle the USB-C hub itself, other charging blocks and accessories, portable battery, and then you have another section here in front of that. So you have kind of this dual layout here, and you have some elastic bands on the back on the lid, which is gonna be great for something like a USB-C cable. That's what I have here at the moment. So you have 3 of those provided. And behind those, you have a larger slip pocket. It has this magnet in the middle, and when it's secured on the back, it almost creates 2 slip pockets here. It kind of divides it down the middle, but you can open this up to have some extra space. And I like that this pocket is a little bit padded. It's not super rigid, but it feels a little bit thicker than this divider, for example. And so a good spot to maybe put, again, portable battery if you want to toss in some sunglasses, your phone. So I really like the variety of options that are offered here. And even though I didn't necessarily use all of them, I think that it provides some good flexibility without forcing you to organize in a particular way. You can just kind of move these out of the way or take advantage if you prefer to use them. So pretty unique layout there. And then on the back, you have a dedicated laptop area. And I thought this was interesting that there's no aqua guard on this zipper. You do have a storm flap here that comes over to help protect it, but I would have preferred to just have had the aqua guard. And I also think that it's interesting that it doesn't have the ability to lock in the same way that the primary compartment does. And so, that would have been something as well that might have been good to just give you that extra peace of mind. The laptop area itself offers a nice amount of padding. You have a dedicated sleeve for a tablet and your laptop. Nice amount of space here for a 10 or 11-inch tablet. I just have my iPad mini in there. And then on the back, you have a sleeve that'll be able to handle a 15 or 16-inch laptop comfortably. Currently, I have my 14-inch MacBook Pro. You can see there's leftover space here. And on the back, you have a soft kind of microfiber lining to help prevent against scratching. And, good amount of padding. It doesn't feel like this is suspended per se off the bottom. It does offer a nice amount of padding, but I would have liked to have seen maybe more of a false bottom to give that extra peace of mind. And then pulling my device out. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. This does come up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker laptop, it should be able to fit here pretty well. And you can also see that you have that soft kind of microfiber lining on the front and back of the compartment, which not only helps with preventing scratching, but I also like that when I drop my laptop into the sleeve, it kind of like makes it go down a little bit more slowly, similar to what I called out in my review of the Firo T22 backpack. So even though this doesn't have a false bottom, it never feels like when I drop my laptop in there, it's just dropping to the bottom super quickly and making contact. And so, there is padding on the bottom. I like that material kind of helps the laptop slide in a little bit more softly. And with the amount of padding that's offered here, it does feel like my devices are going to be well protected while I'm on the go. Moving into the main compartment, as I was saying, you do have the ability to lock this if you want a little bit more peace of mind. And again, you have the aqua guarded zipper here. And this is a top loading bag. It doesn't open fully flat, but the zippers go down enough to provide you with the visibility that you'll need. You also have a lighter lining on the inside, which is going to be great for visibility. And yeah, with the 20 liters of space, I have kind of my typical loadout here. At the top, I have my VR sunglasses that I connect to my phone. I featured that in a video a little while back. And then I also have a couple of pouches from Evergoods, Civic Access pouch 1 liters, a few of those, the Civic Access pouch 1/2 liter, and then I have my Alpaca admin pouch, the Lockbee Tech pouch, and I also have my Beats Studio wireless headphones. And all of that fit in there pretty comfortably. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. It does come up a decent amount, so I could also use this for minimal travel if I wanted to toss in a packing cube and my toiletry bag. I could use it for a weekend trip. And then on the back, you have some additional built-in organization. You have a zippered pocket here. That's gonna be great for something a little taller. I have my Kindle in here at the moment. And then on the front, a couple of nice slip pockets. You can see the height here, and so a good spot for something like a portable battery. That's what I have in there at the moment. And on the other side, I actually have one of Troubadour's new wallets. They have a couple of great wallets that they just released. Here I have this style, which is kind of a bifold. So it's great when traveling if I want to carry some extra cash. It also has a cool layout with some pull tabs, some slots for additional cards. And I've also really been liking their card holder, which has a couple of slots, a pull tab as well in the middle for some extra cards, a place to put some cash, very slim form factor. I'm a huge fan of this style of wallet for daily carry, and then this is a great one for travel. And they have a couple of other options with Troubadour's typical style. The quality on these feels fantastic, and so if you're in the market for, you know, a nice new wallet, I definitely recommend taking a look at these. And then on the front here, you also have another slip pocket similar to what we've seen in other Troubadour bags. A great spot for maybe something like a mouse or your phone. And then next to that, you have a slot for a pen or a stylus. Here, I actually have a pair of scissors. And so, you know, really nice layout in this main area and throughout the rest of the bag. This has been really fun to use. I think that this is a unique functional layout. Might not be for everybody as far as kind of the accordion style organization here in this compartment, but I think that it's a cool addition to Troubadour's lineup. And if you're looking for a stylish, durable, and tech-focused bag, this is gonna be a great option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Matrix Backpack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company's site. It's gonna come in at around $280, which is definitely an investment. Troubadour's bags typically come at a more premium price range, but it does feel like you're getting a solidly built bag that's gonna offer a nice feature set and compare well against some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Panda Pack from Pioneer Carry. They recently released an updated version of the Panda Pack. It still has a really great organizational layout, just very spacious pockets on the front, on the sides, dedicated laptop compartment that now has a suspended sleeve. That has a clamshell style opening. It comes in at about 25 liters, so it's gonna give you a little bit more space than this. It has a very rugged ballistic nylon fabric, really smooth working zippers. And so if you're looking for something that's got this type of a vibe, but that has a simpler organizational layout and that clamshell style opening, then that's gonna be a fantastic option to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Air City Pack Pro 2, which continues to be one of my favorite new releases of the year. It comes in at about 24 liters, so it's gonna give you a little bit more space than this one. Clamshell style opening. It's got the dual external water bottle pockets, some nice handles, very comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through, good organizational layout. I really like the modern and techie style that one offers. And so, you know, it's just gonna check off a lot of the boxes for what I typically look for. And if you're wanting a versatile, travel-friendly, and tech-focused EDC backpack, then that's gonna be a fantastic option to keep in mind. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Timbuk2 Authority Pack Deluxe, which also has a modern techie style, very comfortable harness system with a luggage pass-through, lots of organization on that one, some quick access pockets, an admin area, dedicated laptop compartment that's padded and suspended. You also have a spacious top-loading main compartment. So, you know, checking off a lot of the same boxes as this one here. And if you're looking for something that's gonna have a little bit of a different layout and aesthetic, then that's gonna be a cool one to keep in mind. With that being said, the Matrix Backpack holds up very well against all those options and is a great addition to Troubadour's lineup of tech and everyday carry bags. And if you're looking for something that's gonna be stylish, durable, and that's gonna offer a really great organizational layout, then it's gonna be an excellent option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Matrix Backpack and how it compares to some of the other popular work and everyday carry bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Troubadour for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.